I want to share with you the most profound secret of manifestation. A secret so powerful that once understood will revolutionize your entire approach to life. Many of you come to me asking why your manifestations are delayed, why your desires seem to take so long to materialize in your world. Tonight, I shall reveal to you why, and more importantly, how to manifest your desires with lightning speed. Let me begin by sharing a principle that most of the world has completely misunderstood. In the book of John, it is written, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." Now, what is this word? This word, my dear wonderful friends, is not something spoken by your physical lips. The word is your inner conversation, your mental dialogue that runs ceaselessly through your mind day and night. You see, most people are manifesting slowly or not at all because they fail to grasp this fundamental truth. Your inner conversation is the cause of everything in your world. Everything. Not some things, not most things, but all things. When you truly understand this, you will begin to manifest with such rapidity that others will call it miraculous. Let me share with you a story that came to me just last week. A lady approached me after one of my lectures, her eyes filled with tears. She had been trying to manifest a reunion with her estranged son for 3 years. She had tried everything: affirmations, visualization, even traveling across the country to see him. But he refused to meet her. After attending my lectures and understanding this principle of inner conversation, she realized that her constant inner dialogue was, "Why won't my son talk to me? What did I do wrong? Will he ever forgive me?" Do you see what she was doing? She was perpetuating the very state of separation through her inner conversation. I instructed her to change her inner dialogue to how wonderful it is to talk to my son every day. How lovely it is to hear his voice filled with love for me. Within 1 week, yes, just 1 week, her son called her. Not only did he call, but he apologized for his behavior and expressed his desire to rebuild their relationship. This, my dear friends, is the secret that accelerates manifestation. Your inner conversation must match the state you wish to occupy. There must be no contradiction between what you desire and what you internally hear yourself saying about that desire. Now, let me take you deeper into this mystery. In the book of Matthew, it is written, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." Your treasure is not your desire. Your treasure is your inner conversation about your desire. If you claim to want financial abundance, but your inner dialogue is constantly repeating, "I never have enough money. Everything is so expensive. I can't afford this," then that conversation is your real treasure. And that is exactly what you will manifest. The speed of manifestation is directly proportional to the consistency of your inner conversation. When you maintain an inner dialogue that aligns perfectly with your desire, without contradiction, without doubt, without wavering, manifestation must follow as naturally as day follows night. Some of you might be thinking But Neville, I try to maintain positive thoughts, yet my inner conversation seems to have a mind of its own. Here is where most seekers stumble. They try to force their inner conversation, to control it through willpower. This is not the way. The secret lies in understanding that your inner conversation is not something to be forced, but something to be assumed. When you truly assume a state, the inner conversation appropriate to that state flows naturally. If you are wealthy, truly wealthy in consciousness, you don't need to force yourself to think wealthy thoughts. The inner dialogue of wealth flows spontaneously because it is natural to the state you have assumed. Let me make this practical for you. Tonight, when you go to sleep, I want you to do something revolutionary. Instead of trying to visualize your desire or repeating affirmations, I want you to simply listen to your inner conversation. Don't try to change it yet. Just listen. Become aware of what you are internally saying about yourself, your life, your desires, your relationships, your finances. This awareness is crucial because what you will discover is that your current inner conversation is a perfect match for your current life circumstances. Every detail of your life right now is a manifestation of your habitual inner dialogue. This is why some people can visualize for hours, affirm until they're blue in the face, yet see no results. Their inner conversation is contradicting everything they're trying to manifest. The secret to rapid manifestation lies in this understanding. Change the inner conversation and you change the outer world. And this is crucial, you must change it naturally by assuming the state of your wish fulfilled. When you assume the state, the appropriate inner dialogue flows without effort. Here's a profound truth that few understand. Your inner conversation is not just about the specific words you say to yourself. It's about the feeling tone behind those words. When you assume the state, the feeling of that state gives birth to natural, effortless, inner talking that matches the state. Consider a woman who wants to be married. She might repeat affirmations like, I am happily married 1,000 times. But if her inner conversation throughout the day is filled with loneliness, questioning when love will come, or expressing doubt about finding the right person, those are the conditions she's actually manifesting. But when she assumes the state of the happily married woman, her inner conversation naturally includes remarks like, my husband always does the sweetest things. I love cooking our favorite meals together. These conversations flow effortlessly because they are natural to the state she has assumed. This brings me to another crucial point about rapid manifestation. In the book of Revelation, it is written, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. This is not speaking of some external deity. This is speaking of your consciousness, your I am. Your inner conversation is how you use this creative power of I am. Every time you engage in inner dialogue, you are defining who I am is. When you say internally, I am struggling. I am trying to manifest. I am waiting for my desire. You are creating those very conditions. The secret to rapid manifestation is to engage in the inner conversation of the state fulfilled, not the state desired. Let me give you a warning here. Many of you will be tempted to monitor your inner conversation constantly, trying to catch every negative thought. This is not what I'm advocating. Such an approach creates tension and resistance, which only slows down manifestation. Instead, simply assume the state of your wish fulfilled and let the natural inner conversation of that state flow. Now, let me share with you something even more profound about this secret. In the book of Job, it is written, "For what I feared has come upon me. What I dreaded has happened to me." This is not just ancient wisdom. This is a precise description of how your inner conversation creates your reality. Your fears, your worries, the things you dread, these are not merely passive thoughts. They are powerful inner conversations that manifest with the same certainty as your desire. This is why I tell you that no one worry you. When others speak of recession, of difficult times, of impossibilities, you must understand that their conversations have no power in your world unless you accept them into your inner dialogue. The only creative power is your own inner conversation. I recall a gentleman who attended my lectures in New York. He was a businessman who had heard countless experts predicting a downturn in his industry. Everyone was preparing for failure, cutting costs, laying off workers. But this gentleman understood the secret of inner conversation. While others spoke of decline, his inner dialogue remained steadfast. My business is thriving. My customers are abundant, but opportunities are flowing to me from every direction. His colleagues called him delusional, unrealistic. Yet within 3 months, while other businesses struggled, his company experienced its most profitable quarter ever. Was this a coincidence? No, my dear friends. It was the law in operation. His inner conversation created a state of consciousness that had to objectify itself in his world. Here is another secret that will accelerate your manifestations. Your inner conversation must not only match your desire, it must transcend time. Notice how most people's inner dialogue is always about the future. I will be successful. I will find love. Things will get better. This very conversation pushes their desires perpetually into the future. The secret is to have an inner conversation that speaks from the in, as though your desire is already fulfilled. In the book of Isaiah, it states, "Before they call, I will answer." This is not about some external God answering prayers. This is about the law of consciousness. Your inner conversation of the wish fulfilled is the answer. And it precedes the physical manifestation. Let me be very specific about this. If you desire financial abundance, your inner conversation should not be, "Money is coming to me," or "I am attracting wealth." These conversations, though seemingly positive, still speak from a place of lack. Instead, your inner dialogue should be that of a wealthy person. I love how easily money flows in my life. It's wonderful having more than enough to share. I enjoy choosing the best of everything. Some of you might argue, but Neville, isn't this denying reality? Isn't this lying to ourselves? Let me address this once and for all. What you call reality is simply the outer picturing of past inner conversations. Your current circumstances, which seem so solid and real, are nothing more than yesterday's inner talking made visible. In the book of Hebrews, it is written, through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Replace word of God with inner conversation, and you have the exact law I'm revealing to you tonight. The things which are seen, your current circumstances, were created by the invisible power of your inner dialogue. Let me share another experience that demonstrates this principle perfectly. A young teacher came to me in despair. She had been assigned the most challenging class in her school, students known for being disruptive and unmanageable. Her inner conversation was filled with dread. These students won't listen. This year will be a nightmare. I can't handle this class. I explained to her this secret of inner conversation. She began to change her internal dialogue too. My students are engaged and eager to learn. I love how respectful and cooperative my class is. Teaching this class brings me joy every day. She maintained this new inner conversation faithfully, even when external circumstances seemed to contradict it. Within 2 weeks, she noticed subtle changes. Students who had never participated began raising their hands. Disruptions became less frequent. By the end of the month, her class had transformed so dramatically that other teachers came to observe what they called her teaching magic. But it wasn't magic. It was the law of inner conversation in action. Now, here's another crucial aspect of this secret that few understand. Your inner conversation is not limited to your own life circumstances. When you engage in inner dialogue about others, you are influencing how they appear in your world. This is why the Bible instructs us to love our enemies and bless those who curse us. These are not moral instructions. They are practical, metaphysical laws. If someone in your world appears hostile or unpleasant, check your inner conversation about them. Are you internally rehearsing their faults? Are you mentally arguing with them? Are you replaying negative interactions? This inner dialogue is creating and sustaining their behavior in your experience. Change your inner conversation about them, and you change their behavior toward you. This is not manipulation. This is the correct use of the law. Everyone in your world is yourself pushed out. Their behavior toward you is simply the manifestation of your inner conversation about them. I had a lady write to me about a difficult mother-in-law. For years, their relationship had been strained, filled with criticism and tension. Every time she thought about her mother-in-law, her inner dialogue was, she's always judging me. She'll never accept me. She makes my life miserable. I instructed her to change this inner conversation to, my mother-in-law is so loving and supportive. We enjoy such wonderful times together. She practiced this faithfully. Even though her external circumstances showed no immediate change, but within a month, her mother-in-law's attitude began to shift. Small gestures of kindness appeared. Criticism turned to compliments. Today, They share a loving relationship that amazes the entire family. This transformation wasn't about changing her mother-in-law. It was about changing her inner conversation about her mother-in-law. Now, let me reveal to you an even deeper aspect of this secret that will accelerate your manifestations beyond anything you've previously experienced. In the book of Ecclesiastes, it is written, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven." Many interpret this literally, thinking they must wait for the right time for their manifestations. But I tell you truly, time is a creation of your inner conversation. When your inner dialogue constantly speaks of waiting, of process, of gradual improvement, you create time between you and your desire. This is why so many remain stuck in the state of becoming rather than being. Their inner conversation is always about the journey, never the arrival. They say, "I'm getting better. I'm working towards my goal. I'm making progress." While these seem positive, they are actually creating perpetual delay. Let me share with you a profound truth. In imagination, where all creation takes place, there is no time. This is why the Bible speaks of God as the eternal I am, not the I will be. Your inner conversation must reflect this timeless nature of consciousness. Instead of saying internally, "My business is growing," say, "I am perfectly healthy now." A gentleman once approached me after experiencing years of financial struggle. His inner conversation was filled with statements like, "Things are getting better. I'm moving towards prosperity. My debts are gradually decreasing." I explained to him that this very conversation was creating the experience of gradual change, of endless becoming. He shifted his inner dialogue to speak from the end. "I love having more than enough." The results were immediate and startling. Within days, unexpected opportunities appeared. A long-forgotten investment suddenly paid off. A new business partnership emerged that transformed his financial situation completely. What others called coincidence, we know as law. Here's another crucial aspect of this secret. Your inner conversation must be anchored in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Many attempt to change their inner dialogue mechanically, repeating new statements without the corresponding feeling tone. This is why their manifestations are slow and non-existent. In the book of Psalms, it says, "Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart." This delight is the feeling tone that must accompany your inner conversation. When your internal dialogue naturally flows from the joy of having your desire fulfilled, manifestation is instantaneous. Consider a woman who desires marriage. Her inner conversation might be technically positive. "I am married to a wonderful man." But if these words lack the feeling of being happily married, they remain hollow and powerless. When she assumes the feeling of being a beloved wife, her inner dialogue naturally flows with statements like, "I love cooking dinner with my husband. Our evening walks together are so precious. I'm so blessed to share my life with my soulmate." These words carry the feeling tone of the wish fulfilled. Let me share something even more profound about this secret. Your inner conversation extends beyond your waking hours. The thoughts and dialogues that occupy your mind as you fall asleep are particularly powerful. This is why the Psalms instruct us to commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. Most people fall asleep rehearsing the problems of their day or worrying about tomorrow. Their inner conversation during these crucial moments is creating more of what they don't want. Instead, as you fall asleep, let your inner dialogue be from the state of your wish fulfilled. Let it be natural, easy, reflecting the joy of already having what you desire. I recall a man who had been seeking a specific position in his company for years. Every night he would fall asleep thinking about how to get the promotion, what he needed to do, who he needed to impress. His inner conversation was always about seeking, never about having. I instructed him to change his preparatory sleep conversation. Instead of planning and strategizing, he was to fall asleep each night with the inner dialogue of already being in that position. His new inner conversation included casual remarks like, "It's wonderful having this responsibility. I love leading this department. My team is exceptional." Within 2 weeks, not only was he promoted to the position he desired, but he was given even more responsibility and compensation than he had imagined possible. Now, let me address something that many of you struggle with: the appearance of failure or delay in your manifestations. When things seem to be going wrong, when circumstances appear to contradict your desire, your inner conversation becomes crucial. Most people allow their internal dialogue to be dictated by circumstances. This is the exact opposite of how the law works. In the book of Romans, it is written, "Call those things which be not as though they were." This is not positive thinking. This is the revelation of how consciousness creates reality. Your inner conversation must call forth the reality you desire, regardless of appearances. A lady who was manifesting perfect health while dealing with a chronic condition. Instead of allowing her inner dialogue to focus on symptoms or medical reports, she maintained a conversation of perfect health. "My body is strong and vital. Every cell in my body is functioning perfectly. I am the picture of health." Her doctors were amazed when her condition completely reversed, defying their prognosis. This brings me to another vital aspect of rapid manifestation. Your inner conversation must be protected from the doubts and negativity of others. When others speak of impossibilities, when they point to reality or facts, you must maintain your inner conversation is so vital. In the book of Proverbs, it states, "Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." Your heart, your consciousness, is your inner conversation. When you allow external voices to influence your internal dialogue, you give away your creative power. I remember a remarkable case of a young artist who came to me in despair. Gallery owners had rejected her work, critics had dismissed her talent, and her family insisted she find a real job. But she understood this secret. Instead of allowing their voices to become her inner conversation, she maintained an internal dialogue of success. My art touches people deeply. Collectors value my work. My exhibitions are always successful. She told me later that maintaining this inner conversation felt like standing firm in a storm of contrary opinions. But she persisted. Within months, a prestigious gallery owner discovered her work. Today, her paintings command significant prices, and critics who once dismissed her now praise her unique vision. What changed? Not her talent. That was always there. What changed was her inner conversation. Here's another crucial aspect of this secret that few understand. Your inner conversation must be faithful to your assumption. If you assume the state of wealth, but your internal dialogue still speaks of budgeting, saving, and financial caution, you are being unfaithful to your assumption. This divided inner conversation creates delayed and mixed manifestations. In the book of James, it says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. This double-mindedness is not about having doubts. It's about maintaining contradictory inner conversations. You cannot speak internally as both the wealthy and the wanting, the healthy and the sick, the loved and the lonely. You must choose your state and let your inner conversation be faithful to it completely. Consider this profound truth. Every moment of your day is an opportunity to align your inner conversation with your desired state. When you shop, does your internal dialogue speak of prices and affordability, or does it naturally discuss preferences and choices? When you dine out, does your inner conversation concern itself with the cost of the menu, or does it focus on the pleasure of the experience? These seemingly small moments of inner dialogue are actually crucial turning points in your manifestation. Every internal word either aligns with your desire or contradicts it. There is no neutral inner conversation. Let me share one final secret about rapid manifestation that will transform your understanding completely. Your inner conversation is not just about words. It's about the consciousness from which those words spring. When you truly assume a state, the inner conversation appropriate to that state flows naturally, without effort or practice. This is why attempting to monitor and control every thought is unnecessary and counterproductive. Instead, occupy the state of your wish fulfilled, and the right inner conversation will flow spontaneously. This is what the Bible means when it says, "Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus." It's speaking of assuming the state of your wish fulfilled, from which all appropriate thoughts and internal dialogues naturally flow. I knew a man who struggled with relationships. He tried to change his inner conversation about love and partnership, but it felt forced and unnatural. Then he understood this principle. Instead of trying to change his thoughts, he assumed the state of being happily married. From this state, his inner conversation naturally shifted. He no longer had to remind himself to think positive thoughts about relationships. The internal dialogue of a happily married man flowed effortlessly from his assumed state. Within months, he met and married a wonderful woman. But here's the crucial point. The meeting and marriage weren't the miracle. The natural shift in his inner conversation was the miracle. The external circumstances simply conformed to his new state of consciousness. Now, as we conclude tonight's discussion, I want to impress upon you this final truth. Dialogue is defining your self-concept, and your self-concept determines what you manifest in your world. When you understand this, truly understand it, you will never again worry about circumstances, conditions, or the opinions of others. You will know that your inner conversation is the only creative power, and you will use it wisely and deliberately. Tonight, as you leave here, I urge you to begin this practice immediately. Don't wait for a perfect moment. Don't prepare yourself. Simply begin now to listen to your inner conversation, and then naturally let it flow from the state of your wish fulfilled. Let your internal dialogue be that of the person who already has what you desire. Remember, secret I've shared with you tonight is not new. It's as old as consciousness itself. But its power is as fresh and available now as it has ever been. Your inner conversation is creating your reality at this very moment. Use it wisely. Use it lovingly. Use it deliberately. For in the end, there is no one to change but self. And self is changed by the transformation of your inner conversation. The world around you, which appears so solid and real, is nothing more than your inner conversation made visible. Change the conversation and you change everything. And now, knowing this secret, go forth and prove it in the laboratory of your own life. For as it is written, according to your faith be it unto you. Your faith is your inner conversation, and it will not fail you. That is the law, and that is the promise. The secret I am about to share with you is this. Your imagination is the creative power of the universe, and what you assume to be true will invariably manifest in your reality. This is not metaphor or allegory, but the very foundation of existence itself. You are not merely experiencing reality, you are creating it in every moment through the power of your assumptions and beliefs. Now you might be wondering, Neville, if this is true, why am I not already living my ideal life? And therein lies the crux of our discussion today. Most people are unaware of this creative power within them. They live their lives reacting to external circumstances, not realizing that these very circumstances are the outpicturing of their inner states. You see, the world you experience is not happening to you. It is happening from you. Every circumstance, every event, every interaction in your life is a reflection of your inner assumptions. These assumptions are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And just as a seed grows into a plant, your assumptions grow into your experienced reality. This is why many people find themselves stuck in patterns of lack, of struggle, of not enoughness. They have unknowingly been planting these seeds in their subconscious mind through years of repetitive thoughts and feelings of limitation. But here's the liberating truth. You have the power to choose what seeds you plant. You have the ability to consciously assume the state of your wish fulfilled, regardless of your current circumstances. So how do we begin this process of conscious creation? The first step is to clearly define what you wish to experience. Be specific. Don't simply say, I want to be successful. Instead, Imagine in vivid detail what your life looks like when you are living your ideal reality. How do you feel? What are you doing? How do you spend your time? The more specific and detailed your vision, the more clearly you communicate with your subconscious mind. Once you have this clear vision, the next step is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is crucial. You must feel the reality of your desire now, not in some distant future. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't understand time. It only understands the present moment. So if you constantly feel that your desire is something in the future, it will always remain in the future. Instead, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled now. How would you feel if your desire were already realized? Would you feel joyful, confident, free, grateful? Embody these feelings. Live from this state of being. This is not pretending or lying to yourself. This is assuming a new state of consciousness, which is the very essence of creation. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I feel something that isn't yet true? This is where the power of your imagination comes into play. Your imagination is the bridge between your current reality and your desired state. It is through your imagination that you can step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even before it manifests in the physical world. Your imagination is not a flight of fancy or a frivolous faculty. It is the very workshop wherein you fashion your future. When you imagine, you are experiencing reality at its most fundamental level. You are engaging with the pure potential of consciousness, shaping it with your attention and your assumption. To use your imagination effectively, you must first quiet your conscious mind. The chattering of your daily thoughts, your worries, your doubts, these must be silenced. Enter a state of relaxation, a state akin to sleep, but in which you remain consciously aware. In this state, your subconscious mind becomes more receptive to impression. Once in this relaxed state, construct your scene. This scene should be one that implies the fulfillment of your desire. If your desire is for a successful career, you might imagine yourself in your ideal office or receiving congratulations from colleagues. If it's financial abundance you seek, imagine yourself looking at your bank statement with joy and gratitude. The scene itself should be short and simple. It's not about creating an elaborate story, but about capturing a moment that implies your desire is now a fact. This scene is your platform, the stage upon which you will enact the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Now, step into this scene. Don't watch it as a spectator, but experience it from the first-person perspective. Be there in that moment. And as you experience it, let the feeling of fulfillment wash over you. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the satisfaction of having your desire realized. This is where many falter in their attempts at manifestation. They can see the scene clearly, but they fail to evoke the feeling. Remember, it is the feeling that gives life to your imaginal act. Without feeling, visualization is merely a mental exercise. With feeling, it becomes an act of creation. As you practice this, you may find that the feeling comes more easily with repetition. Each time you return to your scene, the feeling becomes more vivid, more real. This is good. You are strengthening the impression upon your subconscious mind. But here's a crucial point. Once you have evoked the feeling, once you have impressed it upon your subconscious, you must carry it with you into your waking life. This is where many stumble. They do their visualization exercise. They feel it intensely in the moment. But then they return to their daily life and fall back into old patterns of thought and feeling. To manifest your desire to keep winning, you must maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even in the face of contradictory evidence. This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. When you truly grasp this, you will no longer be swayed by appearances. You will know that what you see around you is the effect, not the cause. The cause lies in your consciousness, in your feeling. And as you persist in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your outer world must reshape itself to match this inner conviction. Now let us address a common challenge in this practice, the apparent contradictions of your senses. As you begin to live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you may find that your current circumstances seem to contradict your assumption. How do you maintain your feeling in the face of these seeming contradictions? This is where the art of ignoring comes into play. To ignore is not to deny the existence of something, but to refrain from giving it your attention and energy. When contradictory evidence appears, acknowledge it briefly, then immediately return your attention to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Remember, what you see in your outer world is the result of past assumptions, past feelings. It is like an echo of what you once believed. Your task now is to give more attention, more importance, more reality to your new assumption than to these outdated circumstances. This practice requires mental discipline. It requires you to stand firm in your new assumption even when your senses argue against it. But remember, your senses only show you what has been, not what can be. Your imagination, informed by your feelings, shows you what will be. As you persist in maintaining the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even in the face of contradictory evidence, you will begin to see changes in your outer world. These changes may start small. A fortunate coincidence, an unexpected opportunity, a shift in someone's behavior towards you. Do not dismiss these as mere chance. They are the first fruits of your new assumption taking root. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of feeling and manifestation. When I speak of feeling, I am not referring merely to impatience, though emotions play a part. I am speaking of a deeper sense, a knowing, an unshakable conviction. It is the difference between saying I want to be successful and knowing the very core of your being I am successful. This feeling conviction is not something you can fake or force. It arises naturally when you have successfully impressed your desire upon your subconscious mind. This is why the repeated use of your imagination is so crucial. Each time you return to your imaginal scene, each time you step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are deepening this impression. Think of it like wearing a groove in a record. The first time you play the record, the needle may skip and jump. But with repeated plays, the groove deepens and the music plays smoothly. Similarly, as you repeat your imaginal act, the feeling becomes more natural, more habitual. It becomes your dominant state. This is the state from which creation occurs. When you can maintain this feeling conviction throughout your day, when it becomes as natural as breathing, you have mastered the art of conscious creation. Your outer world has no choice but to conform to this inner state. This is the secret to never-ending winning. But what are those moments when doubt creeps in? When fear arises? When the old patterns of thought and feeling try to reassert themselves? These moments are inevitable, especially in the beginning of your practice. Do not be discouraged by them. Instead, see them as opportunities to strengthen your new assumption. When doubt arises, do not fight it. Fighting against the thought only gives it more power. Instead, gently but firmly return to your feeling of wish fulfilled. Remind yourself that what you see around you is the past. Your new assumption, your new feeling is creating your future. This brings us to another crucial aspect of winning, the concept of living in the end. Living in the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled in your day-to-day life. It's not enough to visualize for a few minutes each day and then return to your old patterns of thought and feeling. You must carry the feeling of your wish fulfilled with you throughout your day. This doesn't mean you deny your current circumstances. Rather, you acknowledge them briefly, then immediately return to the feeling of your desire fulfilled. You live from the assumption that what you desire is already yours. For example, if your desire is for financial abundance, you would feel the security, freedom, and joy of wealth as you go about your day. When you make purchases, you would feel the ease and confidence of someone who has more than enough. When you interact with others, you would carry yourself with the assurance of a wealthy person. Living in the end requires a shift in your entire way of being. It's not about pretending or play acting. It's about genuinely assuming a new state of consciousness. When you do this effectively, you'll find that your actions naturally align with your assumed state, accelerating the manifestation process. Now let us address the role of action in this process of continuous winning. Some people mistakenly believe that manifesting means they can simply imagine their desires and then sit back and wait for them to magically appear. This is not the case. The secret to never-ending winning does not negate action, it informs action. When you successfully impress your desire upon your subconscious mind, when you truly feel your wish fulfilled, you will be inspired to take actions that align with this state. These actions will feel natural, even inevitable. They will not be driven by fear or lack, but will flow from your assumed state of fulfillment. This is a crucial distinction. When you take action from a place of lack, trying to get what you desire, you are actually affirming the assumption of not having it. But when you take action from the assumption of already having your desire fulfilled, you open yourself to infinite possibilities for its expression and expansion. So do not neglect action, but ensure that your actions are aligned with and flowing from your assumed state. Let your feeling guide your actions, rather than hoping your actions will create the feeling. This alignment of inner state and outer action is key to continuous winning. Now let us explore the concept of detachment in relation to winning. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care about your desire. Rather, it means you're not anxiously attached to seeing immediate results or figuring out how your desire will manifest. When you're detached, you can imagine and feel your desire fulfilled without constantly looking for signs of its manifestation. You trust in the process, knowing that as you maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, it must inevitably express itself in your outer world. Detachment allows you to live in the present moment while holding your assumed state. It frees you from the anxiety and doubt that can slow down the manifestation process. It allows you to enjoy the journey of manifestation rather than being solely focused on the destination. Practice detachment by reminding yourself that your imaginal act, imbued with feeling, is the reality. What you see in the outer world is just a shadow, a reflection of past assumptions. As you persist in your new assumption, this shadow must change to match the new reality you're imagining and feeling. Let us now address the importance of gratitude in continuous winning. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion, it is a powerful creative force. When you feel genuinely grateful, you are affirming that you already have what you desire. This aligns perfectly with the principle of living in the end. Begin to cultivate an attitude of gratitude for your desire, even before you see it manifested in your physical reality. Be thankful for it as if it were already yours. Feel appreciation for the abundance that surrounds you in all forms, the air you breathe, the sun that shines, the food you eat. As you practice gratitude, you are assuming the state of someone who has their desire fulfilled. This assumption, persistently held, must manifest in your outer world as the realization of your desire. This is another key to never-ending winning. Now let us explore the power of revision in manifesting continuous wins. Revision is not merely about changing your memories or rewriting your past. It is about recognizing that the past only exists in your mind, and therefore it can be changed in your mind. At the end of each day, take a few moments to review the events of your day. If there were any events that were not to your liking, revise them in your imagination. See them unfolding in a way that aligns with your desired state. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the fulfillment of this revised version of events. By doing this, You are not denying what physically happened. You are changing the impact of that event on your subconscious mind. You are impressing upon your subconscious a reality that aligns with your desires rather than one that contradicts them. As you make this practice of revision a habit, you will find that your reactions to current events begin to change. You'll become less reactive, more peaceful, more aligned with your desired states of being. This alignment accelerates the manifestation process, ensuring that you continue to win in all areas of life. Let us now discuss the importance of persistence in continuous winning. While we speak of manifesting desires, it's important to understand that the speed of manifestation can vary. Some desires may manifest almost instantly, while others may take more time. The key is to persist in your assumption, regardless of how long it seems to be taking. Remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. If you waver in assumption, if you lose faith in the process, you send mixed signals to your subconscious mind, which can slow down the manifestation process. Persistence doesn't mean forcing or struggling. It means consistently returning to the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. It means choosing again and again to live from the end, to embody the state of having your desire realized. This persistence requires faith, not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state, and that as you persist in your new assumption, your world must reshape itself to match it. Now let us address the role of self-concept in continuous winning. Your self-concept, the beliefs you hold about who you are, is perhaps the most powerful factor in determining what you can manifest in your life. Many people struggle to manifest their desires because their self-concept contradicts what they're trying to achieve. They may visualize wealth, but deep down, they don't believe they're the kind of person who can be wealthy. They may imagine a loving relationship, but fundamentally believe they're unworthy of love. To win continuously, you must be willing to revise your self-concept. This involves imagining and feeling yourself as the person who already has what you desire. It's not about creating a false image of yourself, but about recognizing and embracing your true, limitless nature. Remember, at your core, you are pure consciousness. You are not defined by your past experiences, your current circumstances, or the opinions of others. You are the awareness in which all these things appear. And this awareness, your true self, is infinite in its potential. As you use your imagination to assume your desired states, you are essentially recreating yourself. You are stepping into a new concept of self, a new understanding of who you are and what's possible for you. This revision of self-concept is crucial for continuous winning. As you align your self-concept with your desires, you remove the inner contradictions that can slow down the manifestation process. Now let us explore the role of emotion in never-ending winning. Emotion is the fuel that powers your imaginal acts. It's not enough to merely visualize or think about your desires. You must feel them. When you combine vivid imagination with genuine emotion, you create a powerful impression on your subconscious mind. This is because your subconscious responds more strongly to feeling than to intellectual thought. The emotions you want to cultivate are those you would feel if your desire were already realized. If your desire is for wealth, feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with financial abundance. If it's a loving relationship you seek, feel the love, the connection, the companionship. These emotions should be so real, so intense, that when you open your eyes and return to your present circumstances, you carry with you a sense of fulfillment, as if your desire has already been realized. This emotional component is what distinguishes effective manifestation from mere daydreaming or wishful thinking. When you can genuinely feel your desire as an accomplished fact, you are impressing it upon your subconscious mind as a reality. Your subconscious then works tirelessly to bring this feeling into physical manifestation, ensuring your continuous winning. As we near the conclusion of our exploration, remember this: the power to win continuously lies within you. It resides in your ability to imagine vividly, to feel deeply, and to persist faithfully in the assumption of your wish fulfilled. The secret to never-ending winning is not determined by external factors, but by the intensity of your belief and the consistency of your imaginal acts. Go forth from here with this knowledge. Apply these principles in your daily life. Use your imagination consciously and deliberately to create scenes that imply the fulfillment of your desires. Feel the reality of your wish fulfilled with every fiber of your being. Persist in this feeling even when your senses deny it. For as you do, you are reshaping your entire world, manifesting your desires with a consistency that ensures you never stop winning. Remember, you are the operant power in your world. You are limited only by your ability to imagine and to feel the reality of your wishes fulfilled. Embrace this truth. Live from this understanding and watch as your world transforms around you, reflecting the newfound mastery of your creative consciousness. The secret to never-ending winning is not something external to you. It is not a technique or a trick. It is the fundamental truth of your being, that you are the creator of your reality. As you align your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions with this truth, you step into a state of continuous creation, of perpetual winning. In your daily life, be vigilant. Be conscious of your thoughts, your feelings, your assumptions. Choose them wisely, for they are the seeds of your future experiences. Let every thought be a thought of victory, every feeling a feeling of accomplishment, every assumption an assumption of success. For in doing so, you are creating a life of never-ending winning. As you embark on this journey of conscious creation, of continuous winning, know that you are aligning yourself with the very power that creates worlds. You are stepping into your divine birthright as a co-creator of reality. Embrace this power, use it wisely, and let it guide you to a life of unending success and fulfillment. Thank you, and may your journey of conscious creation be filled with joy, wonder, and the thrill of never-ending winning. Tonight we shall explore a subject that many dismiss as trivial, yet I assure you it holds within it the very keys to unlocking your greatest potential. We shall delve into the mystical hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., a time when the veil between worlds is at its thinnest, when your consciousness is most receptive to the whispers of the divine. How many of you have found yourself stirring in these early chilly hours, pulled from your slumber by an unseen force? Perhaps you've dismissed it as mere restlessness or attributed it to some physical discomfort. But I tell you now with absolute certainty that these moments are sacred invitations from the universe itself. When you wake between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., you are being called to partake in the creative power of the universe. This is the time when the world around you slumbers, when the noise of daily life subsides, and you are left alone with the infinite potential that resides within you. It is during these golden hours that you have the opportunity to shape your reality in ways that seem nothing short of miraculous to those who do not understand the law. But what, you may ask, should one do when roused from sleep at such an hour? My friends, I shall share with you 3 powerful practices that, when embraced with unwavering faith and persistence, will revolutionize your existence and align you with the very fabric of creation itself. The first thing you must do upon waking in these early hours is to immediately enter a state of gratitude. Gratitude, my dear listeners, is not merely a polite sentiment or a social nicety. No, gratitude is a powerful force that aligns your vibration with that of your desires. When you express genuine thankfulness for all that you have and all that you are, you open yourself to receive even greater blessings. As you lie there in the stillness of the early morning, begin to count your blessings. Start with the simplest things: the breath in your lungs, the beating of your heart, the comfort of your bed. Then expand your gratitude to encompass all aspects of your life. Give thanks for your loved ones, your experiences, your challenges, and yes, even your unfulfilled desires. You may wonder why I ask you to be grateful for that which you have not yet received. The answer, my friends, lies in the very nature of creation. For in the realm of the infinite, time is but an illusion. Your desires already exist in their completed state. By expressing gratitude for them now, you acknowledge their reality and draw them into your physical experience. Imagine, if you will, that you desire financial abundance. In these early morning hours, feel the overwhelming gratitude for the wealth that is already yours. Give thanks for the abundance that flows to you effortlessly, for the freedom it brings, for the opportunities it affords you to help others. Feel this gratitude with every fiber of your being, as if you were already in possession of this wealth. This practice of gratitude is not a mere exercise in positive thinking. It is a recognition of the truth of your being, that you are one with the source of all creation, and that all good things are your divine birthright. When you truly embody this state of thankfulness, you become a magnet for the very things you desire. As you lie there, bathed in the glow of gratitude, you will find that your entire being begins to shift. The worries and anxieties that may have plagued you during the day begin to dissolve, replaced by a deep sense of peace and assurance. This, my friends, is the power of aligning yourself with the truth of your being. Now let us move on to the second practice that you must embrace during these sacred hours. Having filled yourself with gratitude, you must now turn your attention to the art of visualization. Visualization, when done correctly, is not mere daydreaming or wishful thinking. It is the conscious act of creation, the very same process by which the universe itself came into being. In these quiet hours, when your mind is free from the distractions of the waking world, you have a unique opportunity to impress upon your subconscious mind the images of your desired reality. Close your eyes and begin to construct with vivid detail the life you wish to live. See it not as a distant possibility, but as your present reality. If you desire perfect health, see yourself moving with vitality and strength. Feel the energy coursing through your body, the ease with which you breathe, the clarity of your mind. If you long for a loving relationship, see yourself embraced by your perfect partner. Feel the warmth of their love. Hear the sound of their laughter. Whatever your heart's desire may be, bring it to life in your mind's eye with such clarity that it becomes more real to you than your present circumstances. As you engage in this visualization, you must remember that you are not merely imagining a future possibility. You are, in fact, experiencing the reality of your place that can truly exist within your consciousness. For all things, my dear friends, must first be conceived in the realm of imagination before they can be made manifest in the physical world. Understand that your imagination is not separate from reality. It is the very substance of reality itself. The world you see around you is nothing more than the outpicturing of the images you hold in your mind. By consciously choosing the images you dwell upon, you are quite literally choosing the reality you will experience. As you visualize, do not simply see the end result of your desire. Experience it with all your senses. If you desire a beautiful home, walk through its rooms in your mind. Feel the texture of the furnishings, smell the flowers in the garden, hear the sound of laughter echoing through its halls. The more real you can make this experience in your imagination, the more quickly it will manifest in your physical reality. But remember, my friends, that visualization is not about forcing or straining. It should be as natural and effortless as remembering a fond memory. Allow the images to flow freely, guided by the feeling of your desire fulfilled. For it is the feeling that gives life to your visualizations that imbues them with the power to reshape your world. As you engage in this practice night after night, you will find that your visualizations become increasingly vivid and real. You may even reach a point where you can no longer distinguish between your imagined reality and your physical experience. This, my dear listeners, is the point at which true transformation begins to occur. Now, let us turn our attention to the third and final practice that you must embrace during these early morning hours. Having filled yourself with gratitude and immersed yourself in the vivid imagery of your desires fulfilled, you must now declare the truth of your being with unwavering conviction. Words, my friends, are not mere sounds or symbols on a page. They are living, vibrating energy that shapes the very fabric of your reality. The declarations you make, particularly in these receptive hours, have the power to override all contrary evidence in your physical world and establish a new order in your life. So as you lie there in the stillness of the early morning, begin to make powerful declarations of truth. Speak them aloud if you can, for there is power in the spoken word. But even if circumstances require silence, speak them with conviction in your mind. Declare, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Feel the truth of these words resonating through every cell of your body. Do not simply repeat them by rote, but imbue them with the full force of your belief. If you desire success in your career, declare, I am supremely successful in all my endeavors. Everything I touch prospers and flourishes. If you seek perfect health, proclaim, I am the embodiment of perfect health and vitality. Every cell in my body radiates with divine energy. Remember, as you make these declarations, that you are not attempting to change reality. You are simply acknowledging the truth that already exists in the realm of the absolute. Your words are not creating something new, but rather aligning your consciousness with the perfection that is your true nature. You may find at first that your logical mind rebels against these declarations. It may present you with all manner of evidence to the contrary. But I urge you, my dear friends, to persist. For your logical mind deals only with the world of effects, while your declarations are operating in the world of causes. As you continue this practice day after day, you will find that your declarations begin to take root in your subconscious mind. They will become your dominant thoughts, coloring your perceptions and guiding your actions throughout the day. And as your thoughts change, so too will your reality. Now, my dear friends, I want you to understand that these three practices, gratitude, visualization, and declaration, are not separate exercises to be performed in isolation. They are, in fact, different aspects of the same creative process. They work together in perfect harmony to align your entire being with the reality you wish to experience. As you express gratitude, you open yourself to receive. As you visualize, you impress upon your subconscious mind the image of your desire fulfilled. And as you declare, you align your conscious mind with this new reality. Together, these practices create an irresistible force that must, by the very laws of the universe, bring about the manifestation of your desires. But I must caution you, my friends, that this is not a practice to be undertaken lightly or half-heartedly. The universe responds to your dominant thoughts and feelings, not to your fleeting wishes or momentary enthusiasm. You must approach these early morning sessions with the utmost seriousness and dedication. Treat this time as sacred, for indeed it is. You are engaging in the very act of creation, partnering with the divine to shape your reality. Approach it with reverence, with joy, and with unwavering faith in the power that lies within you. You may find, as you begin this practice, that your physical circumstances do not immediately change. Do not be discouraged by this, for remember, the outer world is but a reflection of your inner states of consciousness. Continue your practice with patience and persistence, knowing that the seed you are planting in these early morning hours must, by divine law, come to fruition. As you go about your day, carry with you the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Let it infuse every action, every interaction, every moment, for it is this feeling that will bridge the gap between your current circumstances and the reality you are creating. My dear friends, I want you to understand that what I am sharing with you tonight is not some esoteric technique or complex metaphysical system. It is the very process by which all of creation comes into being. It is your birthright as a divine being, temporarily clothed in human form. You are not separate from the creative power of the universe. You are that power individualized and made manifest. When you truly grasp this truth, when you feel it in the very depths of your being, you will understand that there are no limits to what you can do. The early morning hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. offer you a unique opportunity to tap into this creative power with minimal interference from the outside world. But remember, the power itself is always available to you at every moment of every day. These practices are not confined to these specific hours. They can and should be integrated into your entire life. As you begin to see the results of your efforts, as your desires begin to manifest in your physical reality, you may be tempted to share your experiences with others. Be discerning in this, my friends. Not everyone is ready to accept the truth of their own creative power. Some may scoff, others may attempt to discourage you. Remember that your only obligation is to remain true to your own inner knowing. You need not defend or explain your practices to anyone. Your results will speak for themselves, and those who are ready will be drawn to the light that begins to shine through you. As you continue on this path, you will find that your desires begin to shift. The material things that once seemed so important may lose their appeal as you realize the truth share there. You may find yourself drawn to higher aspirations, to ways of serving humanity and expressing the divine love that flows through you. Embrace these shifts, my dear friends, for they are signs of your spiritual growth and evolving consciousness. As you align more fully with your true nature, your desires will naturally come into harmony with the highest good for all. Now, I want to address a question that may have arisen in your minds as I've been speaking. Some of you may be wondering, but Neville, what if I don't naturally wake up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m.? Should I set an alarm to practice these techniques? My answer to you is this: while these hours are indeed potent for the reasons I've explained, the true power lies not in the specific time, but in your state of consciousness. If you do not naturally wake during these hours, do not force it. Instead, apply these principles as you fall asleep at night and again as you wake in the morning. The moments just before sleep and just after waking are also highly receptive states. As you lie in bed at night, fill yourself with gratitude for the day that has passed and for the beautiful sleep that awaits you. Visualize your desires fulfilled and drift off to sleep in the consciousness of your wish realized. Then, upon waking, before you engage with the outside world, take a few moments to once again express gratitude, visualize, and declare the truth of your being. In this way, you bookend your sleep with powerful creative sessions, programming your subconscious mind throughout the night. Remember, my dear friends, that time is an illusion created by our physical senses. In the realm of spirit, where all creation takes place, there is only the eternal now. Whether you practice at 3 a.m., 7 a.m., or any other time, what matters is the intensity of your faith and the clarity of your vision. As we near the end of our time together, I want to impress upon you the importance of persistence. The practices I've shared with you tonight are not quick fixes or magical solutions. They are tools for aligning your consciousness with the creative power of the universe. Like any tool, their effectiveness depends on your consistent and skilled use. Do not be discouraged if you do not see immediate results. Some desires may manifest quickly, while others may take more time. Trust in the process, and above all, trust in yourself. You are not separate from the power that creates worlds. You are that power focused into individual expression. As you go forth from this place, I urge you to commit to this practice with all your heart. Whether you find yourself naturally waking in those early morning hours, or whether you choose to practice at other times, do so with dedication and joy. For you are embarking on the grandest adventure possible, the conscious creation of your own reality. Remember that every circumstance in your life, every person you encounter, every challenge you face is a reflection of your own consciousness. As you change your inner world through these practices, your outer world must, by divine law, change to match it. Be patient with yourself and with the process. Some days you may find it easy to enter into the state of your wish fulfilled. Other days it may seem more challenging. Accept these fluctuations as part of the journey. What matters is not perfection, but persistence. And as you persist, as you make these practices a non-negotiable part of your daily life, you will begin to see miracles unfold around you. Opportunities will appear as if by magic. The right people will come into your life at the perfect time. Circumstances will align in ways you could never have planned or anticipated. But the greatest miracle of all, my dear friends, will be the transformation that occurs within you. As you align more fully with your true nature as a divine creative being, you will find a peace and joy that surpasses all understanding. The fears and anxieties that may have plagued you will begin to dissolve, replaced by an unshakable faith in the goodness of life and in your own innate power. You will begin to see the world through new eyes. Where once you may have seen lack and limitation, you will now see infinite possibility. Where you once saw strangers and potential enemies, you will now see divine beings on their own unique journeys. Your heart will open, and you will find yourself naturally expressing love and compassion to all you encounter. This, my dear listeners, is the true purpose of the practices I've shared with you tonight. Yes, they will bring you the material desires of your heart, but more importantly, they will awaken you to the truth of who you really are. They will restore you to your rightful place as a conscious creator, working in harmony with the divine forces of the universe. As we come to the close of our time together, I want to leave you with one final thought. The practices we've discussed, gratitude, visualization, and declaration, are not ends in themselves. They are means by which you align yourself with the creative power of the universe. But the ultimate goal is to reach a state where you no longer need these practices, because you are living in constant awareness of your oneness with the divine. Imagine a state of being where gratitude is your constant companion, where your every thought naturally creates your reality, where your words are always in alignment with the highest truth. This, my friends, is your destiny. It is the state from which you came and to which you are now returning, enriched by your experiences in this earthly realm. So go forth from this place with joy and anticipation. Embrace these practices with all your heart. Whether you find yourself awake between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., or whether you choose other times to connect with your divine nature, do so with the knowledge that you are engaging in the grandest work possible, the conscious creation of your life. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It is not a place to be reached, but a state of consciousness to be realized. Through these practices, you are claiming your divine birthright. You are stepping into your role as a co-creator with the infinite. I leave you now with these words. You are pure consciousness. You are divine love made manifest. You are the operant power in your world. Go forth and create magnificently, for that is why you are here. Thank you, my dear friends, and may your journey be filled with wonder, joy, and the thrill of conscious creation.